Okay, good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good
Yes.
morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today. Just like Prince mentioned, we were given a project to migrate a legacy application to the cloud, so to be able to ensure that our clients have a good service in their environment. So my team is Super Devops team. My team members are Michael, Mobile, and Florence. So we delved into the requirements of our clients. Like the scope, like I mentioned, the scope is for us to migrate legacy web-based application into the cloud, and also ensure we use the DevOps best practice. And we follow the concept of plan, code, build, test, and release the deploy and monitor. And the main goal is to reduce latency and deployment maintenance. So these are the tools we use. We use like Jenkins, or these are the tools we use for the project. And our project went through this flow, Bitbucket, SCM, and then from Jenkins, then using SonarQube to also check the quality of our codes. And if our code is not fixed properly, we have to revert back to Jenkins and fix the code and revert back to Jenkins with the help of developers. And if it's successful, we move to Artifactory, and whereby the artifact is being moved to Ansible, and then that's how we deploy our application. So we use Ansible for our deployment.
Yeah, sorry to cut you short. I like this. This really explains the entire concept in a snapshot. This is really good. I do like this. Please send me a copy of this. This is very, very, very interesting.
Okay,
All right,
sure.
carry on.
Sure. Okay. So
can you throw a little bit more light on the Ansible part? I see a lot of stuff. So what exactly is going on here?
So like you mentioned, I remember you mentioned that we required to provide like 5 infrastructures: Dev, QA, UAT, and Prod A and B. And because even though I didn't put Prod B, but Prod A, the Prod refers to the Prod A and B. So like for us to be able to use Ansible, we have to create a host inventory and also use our playbook. And also on Ansible, we'll also delve into the configuration of the environment on how we can use the deployment and create the job templates for us to deploy the applications to the infrastructure. And obviously, which is something I missed before, we need to create a SSH key for us to be able to access those infrastructures in Ansible.
Carry on.
Okay, so even though I'm not supposed to say this now, but these are the challenges we faced. We faced a lot of challenges along the line. So like I think the first challenge we faced was able to push the code to the workstation because I think we missed the key. And then along the line, I mismatched the part to the Artifactory on our playbook. And we lost our Super DT, the key as well along the line while we were working on the project. And we had issues that in terms of creating the right inventory and creating the AWS CLI profile was also an issue for us. We also had to rebuild the infrastructure several times because of mixed configurations we missed, like the ports and some applications that are supposed to be installed. We had issue with Helm. There was too much to log on to, and also SSH for, like I mentioned, SSH for Ansible Tenancy servers was also missed. I think that's
okay. Carry on.
So this is what we achieved: faster and easy app deployment, accountability and visibility of the deployment, which because we created like notification in terms of Slack and email as well. Avoid conflict in code changes, which that's where Bitbucket comes into place, and the need to approve before an application is merged. The client was able to is going to be able to roll back to previous version, maybe to recover their application if there's any issue with the current version as well. We provided redundancy for the application. Like I mentioned, prod A and prod B is the same. If prod A goes down, prod B comes up and stays online to provide services. We implement security in the application mode of deployment. I mean, providing redundancy defeats the lack of availability, and also confidentiality and integrity was also something we considered. You can see along the demonstration, we try to like hide most of our keys, access keys, and secret access keys and everything, and also our password on the code, and also store them in the right places. Okay. So we proceeded in doing a web application testing, and these are the vulnerabilities we identified through the testing after when we deployed on our dev environment. These are all in details. Like if I explain it, it will take a lot of time, but like it says like it helps to like we need to like work on some things like CSRF tokens need to be included on the application. CSP, content security policy, needs to be also considered, and also anti-click jacking header needs to be involved, needs to be incorporated, and unpatched JS library, and also XSLT injection is something we also need to consider. These are all the lists. So this is the end of I'm gonna pass the slide to I'm gonna pass the ball to Oluchi to demonstrate the Docker wiki. Oluchi, are you here? Hello? Florence.
Okay, Florence. Florence, I think Florence isn't here, but you can, if you want to go and get started.
Okay, yeah, sure. So we for us to be able to hold to be able to know what we're doing, where we are, and also to provide easy access to information about the project. So we created a Docker wiki website, like based on the requirements. The port has to be port 100, and as you can see, the Docker wiki contains all the members of the team, like our team, our supervisor, and everything. So this is Docker wiki. This is the code. This is the code for it. Like the port is the port is 100 instead of 80.
Just hold on a little bit, okay? So this is your Docker wiki. Can you log into the Docker wiki server? Let's see exactly what's in it. Or you know what? This is the come down. So this is the YAML file that you use for it.
Yes, this is the YAML file.
All right. So what's going on here? Tell us.
So this is the image. This defines the image, and this is the port numbers of all the port number enabled on the on the DocuWiki server. 8080 100 8443. And then this is the environment. So environment comprises of the access, the password, and the username is Jack Piro. DocuWiki name is SuperDT. And first, we needed to put in persistence, just to be able to have enough memory to store our information. That's when we delve into the volume aspects, DocuWiki data on the spot parts of the file.
So why do you mount a volume? Why do you mount a volume to a container?
Just to provide persistence, like to memory.
Okay. All right. So in case the container goes away, you still have your data.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. And that's the server that you are currently on.
That's the server I'm currently on.
Yeah.
Correct.
Can you scroll up? So it's on ports. It's running on port 100. Okay, that's good. And you can log in. You're currently logged in as what? What are you logged in as? You're logged in as Jack Piro.
That's Jack Piro.
Okay, good. I see it has table of content on the side. Oh, that's cool. So you can kind of navigate through. All right, that's nice. I like your implementation of the wiki.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the tax B. Okay, let's move on to tax B.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael, and tax B has to deal with version control, and I just want to do a little explanation of what version control is. It's also called source control, and it's used, to manage software codes. The software codes, it's used by teams, and the version control enables them to manage the changes over time.
Sorry, Mike, if I cut you. While you're talking, can you pull up your source control? I think
yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, a good way to flow with this is as they are talking, let's see the tool that you actually implement. Okay. Carry on, Mike.
So
okay, can I share my screen? Or?
No, hold on. I'll share the screen for you. Sorry, Mike. I'm just trying to get rid of some things because we were pulled on unawares. So yeah.
Yeah. So the version control it helps people to manage, track, and record changes to software code, and it also enabled them to collaborate on projects. It has a lot of advantages that includes streamlining of projects. It also helps to manage costs when you have multiple projects. You'll be able to manage them. You'll be able to have a sync, and you're able to collaborate effectively. It also enables people to have a history of all the changes that occurred in a project, and all these things are saved in a repository, so that if you want to go back to what you did before, you'll be able to see it. So we created 2 repositories. I don't know if okay.
It's on the screen. So
okay, we created 2 repositories. One is build and one is deployment. And we also created branches. For
so what Git branching strategy did you guys? I said, okay, you have release feature developer master. Okay. All right.
So these branches, what it does is that if people are working on projects, so tasks can be distributed among the people that are working on it. So that's, in a nutshell, is what we did in version control.
Okay, that's cool. Let's look at, can you go inside your, so where is your code?
Okay, so
which branch are you working on from?
So we're working on the develop code.
Develop, yes.
Develop branch. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I see you have so how were you able to move the project from the developer's workstation into here? How were you able to do that? I see the project there is Jack Piro. How were you able to move that project into this repo?
So what we did, because definitely we have the the application on this application is hosted on a developer workstation. So what we had to do is we had to like clone the application and then push it to this repo for us to be able to do our.
So what gave you access? What gave the developers workstation access into this repo?
So what we did is like we performed some configurations. Like we had to create a SSH key.
Okay.
So that SSH key is more like a way for the two for the dev workstation to connect to the Bitbucket. So once that is enabled, we were able to like push the code into the remote to Bitbucket. Like I mentioned, we had some challenge along the line because of this. So yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So I see you have develop, okay, and then you have feature branch. Have you deployed in the feature branch before? Do you have code in your feature branch?
We have a code in our feature branch, but I created a new branch for feature 2, so I can demonstrate how we can push it to the feature 2.
Okay, let's see. I want to at the end of the day, I want to see live deployment from a release branch. Okay, so can we migrate the code from feature? You say you have feature, go to feature branch. Can you go to the feature branch? Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so can we migrate code from this feature to release branch, to the release branch that you have? Go to the release branch. Let's see. Okay, there's nothing here. So we want to move code from one branch to another. How would you do that? Demonstrate that for us.
Okay. Mr. Mike, do you want to go or do you want me to go for it?
Yeah, you can go, but you have to do a pull request.
Okay. Go ahead and do a pull
request. Good. So we're gonna do a pull request.
So what does a pull request do?
It pulls one code from one source to the other.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and create your pull request.
So do you want us to pull it to the?
Yeah, well, I want it to go to your release branch because we'll do a release. Okay.
Okay. So
you scroll down and create.
Do you want to delete? Do you want to delete after this merged? I don't think so.
Okay. So
yeah.
So we just have to do the quick pull request. And then along the line of this, there needs to be a review, maybe
approve and merge.
Yeah, so once the review's done on the codes, we just have to maybe once Mr. Michael does this, I'm doing it by myself because I'm sharing the screen. I have to review, and then if it's okay, the codes are okay, I'll go ahead and approve. And
the merge.
And then merge, sorry, thanks.
Okay, awesome. So let's check your release branch. Let's see if you have code there. Okay, cool. So please, if anybody in the audience has any questions, you can feel free to, you can raise your hand. Okay. Or after maybe like some demonstration, I'll give it open for questions. Okay. So if you have any questions for them with regards to what they are putting forward, you can bring it up. Okay. All right. So cool. So this is good. I like that. Thank you so much, Mike. You really explained this. Okay, so let's move to the next task. So this is task B. Let's go to task C.
Task C is going to be done by mobile. I know you're ready. Go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So our task basically was to create infrastructures, to create an infrastructures for which means instances. About we had about 1 to 5 instances we were asked to create, and then we decided to use use Terraform as our IAC tool, like what Mr. Prince said, because one, it is widely used, and because of the robust nature of the instances we wanted to create, we wanted to be able to also manage these instances in case we needed to add or remove anything. We wanted to be able to manage it. That's why we chose Terraform. So the first thing we did was to download our the first thing we did was to download Terraform on our Windows, because our developer station was Windows based. We had to do that. Then after that, we went for that to create an environment for Terraform on our Toothkill. In this case, we used VS Code. So after doing that, we went further to create files on that. Although what we did is we created a workspace within our project, which was our Jakpiro project. We created a workspace where we're going to then we now invoke that we now invoked our VS Code on it, and we went further to create files which will help us create those instances. But in this case, we created 3 files because of the robust nature of the instances we wanted to create. We created 3 files. The first file we created was the main.tf file, right? That main.tf was responsible for creating our instances. Then we went further to create another file, which is our security.tf, which helped us to, which helps helped us to with our security group details, which our instances were going to use. Then the last file we created was deploy.sh, which helped us to with our web servers, right? In order to deploy our web servers. So under our main.tf file, right? So the first thing we did was to define our provider, what our provider was. And in this case, we used the AWS provider, right? Because basically when we're going to run Terraform is going to scan that provider and provide the resources that would enable us to create those instances, right? So after doing that, defining our provider, the next thing we went to do was authentication, right? Create our access key and our secret key, right? So that and one major thing we did when after creating the access key and the secret key was that we encrypt the access key and the secret key so that to avoid vulnerability of the access key and the secret key. And we did that using the AWS CLI. What we did is that we downloaded the AWS CLI on our developer workstation. Then we went to Terraform to install the necessary plugins in order to do that.
Awesome.
Right?
That's good. That's good. Because I don't see your access key and secret key inside it. It's good. That's good security measure you took in there. Awesome. Carry on.
Then again, another thing we did was to create an S3 bucket account, which is a Terraform state file, which would help us save or store our how do you call it? Which helps for confidentiality to store our.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question with regards to your state file. Okay. What exactly is a state file? What does it do in Terraform?
So let me think. So a state file is more like it's more like a manifesto. It tells everything that's done on the environment. Like it's more like it gives a clear information of everything, infrastructures, what is done when the Terraform applies, where the Terraform is applied on, is run in the environment. So
yeah, it also sorry.
So it's considered to be a very, very critical file because is because it keeps our resources, like information about our resources. So that's why we had to create S3 bucket, and we had to store that file on our S3 bucket.
Okay, so
yeah, Prince, it's also help us to track our infrastructure.
Okay, cool. So your Terraform is managing your state file in S3 bucket and not locally on that,
yes,
that machine. Can I look at it? Can I see it? Maybe you are just boo-booing us.
I'll go to the
Let's see your S3 bucket. Let's see your state file inside your S3 bucket.
Okay,
Maybe
sure.
you can just put any code and come and start telling us things.
Okay, yeah, sure. So this is our S3.
Okay, go in there. Let me see global S3 going. Okay, that's your state file. Let me go back to your code. Let me see if it's the same part.
Okay.
Your VS Code. Okay, you're doing it remotely. That's why. Okay, I understand. All right. Okay, so I see global S3 state file. That's in line 18. Okay, awesome. Okay, that's good. Awesome. All right. So walk us through your resource block. Walk us through your resource block.
All right. So we are meant to create, like I said, we're meant to create instances for our develop our workstation, our QA, which is quality assurance, our testing, and prod A and prod B. So what we did is that if you look on each of the instances, we have a variable which is user underscore data that represents our web servers, right? Our deploy.sh web servers, those applications were asked to deploy on these instances. For example, number one is Apache Tomcat. We also included Datadog, right?
Okay.
So if you
all right, let's look at your deploy.sh since you're talking about deploy.sh and you walk us through what exactly is going on in deploy.sh. So what's happening here?
All right, so basically this is a bash script representing all those commands that will enable us deploy the applications like Tomcat, it's very small, and like Tomcat, and then we included Datadogs on those instances.
Okay. Can you walk us through the script step by step, what exactly the script is doing?
So like the first one now, it says sudo apt-get. So this is basically updating the application and upgrading it. Then the other one is Java based, because you need to install Java because these are Java based scripts. All these are Java based
applications.
Yeah, that's right. Right. So we needed to install Java. So that is the sudo install default that is installed in Java. Then the other one is the the Tomcat, which is our web server we are installing, right? So the next is the command to basically stop the server. That's sudo system stop Tomcat. Then the other one is, sorry, it's a little bit too small on my screen. I'm struggling.
All right, let me see what I can do. Oh, it's too big.
Okay.
All right, okay, that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. So basically what this script does is it installs Apache Tomcat for you. Okay. And then I see some SSH configuration there. And then it kind of creates username and passwords for that, and also does the port configuration also. Okay.
So
down
please,
a little bit.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, ask your question.
Okay, please. Can you guys take me through the main.tf once more, please? So,
all right.
Please, looking at this resource block, what is line 26 and 31 doing?
Sorry, see, enlarge it a little bit. Let me see. Okay, yes. So port 26, actually, it's a variable that it's a variable that that encodes for our web servers that we're going to deploy. That's our applications are going to deploy on our infrastructures.
So what is it doing? I just want to know because I'm a little bit curious what you're defining and based on the file you're just reading out. So what does this do on this resource block?
Well, it's pointing basically it houses the bash script, that bash script that on deploy does it, those commands.
Mobo, what he's saying is this. Okay,
Yeah.
what he's saying is this. You don't need that base 64 encode. If you remove it, it will still work. But you have it there for a reason. Why is it there? Why is the base 64 encode? Why is that there?
Oh, so the base 64 encode is it's more like to make sure that the file is it's run on the standard, that it's general standard for. That's why it is there.
What is the general standard? What exactly are you trying to enforce here?
Yeah, the way I see it is that the way I see it is to automate it, so that you'll not be manually doing it from time to time.
Okay, so what that base 64 encoding is, it's kind of encrypting it, make sure that it's securely the file is securely transferred on both ends. Okay, so if you remove the base 64 encoding, okay, you are just transferring an open text, okay, that can be compromised during the process. Okay. So when you add that base 64 encoding, it kind of encrypts it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question, Mr. Solomon?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on. Walk us through one of the resource blocks and tell us what's happening exactly in here. We understand the user data is helping us to do the installation. Okay, tell us about the AMI, root block, instance type. What's all that?
All right, so the AMI is I know it's our Amazon machine image, right? Yes, Amazon machine. I think what it's doing is like it's mirroring. This something is mirroring. But it's giving you how do I explain this now? It's because you're trying to create instances. It's giving you those.
So the AMI is more like a template for our resources, our template or image for our resources. So like and this is based on the zone we are, which is US East 2. So it's gonna be the same for every resources we have.
Okay, so what AMI is that? What AMI is that exactly?
It's an Ubuntu image.
Ubuntu 20, Ubuntu.
Yeah, Ubuntu 20 LTS. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And I see you're using 8 gig. Scroll down a little bit. Okay. Let us see your security.tf. Walk us through your security.tf.
All right. So
what does this do?
So for security.tf, this defines our security group.
Just hold on. Is Osato on the line? Osato, are you here?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, good. You asked me a question in the class because we treated this today. Okay. Is there a way you can, if you're doing multiple stuff? So this is an example. Okay. Right. So what they have here is a dynamic variable. Okay. So instead of repeating the ports, all right, they want to open ports 22, 80, 443, 8080, and 4444. All right. So instead of doing the repetition by repeating the blocks, okay, they just have one ingress and they have a dynamic ingress. So it will just pull a list of the port value. So you see the port value from 15 in line 15, port.value, port.value. Okay. So it will take the first 22 and then the second one 8080 and the third one. So you don't have bulky code. All right. So I like this, the way you implemented this. A good job where you have a dynamic ingress as against just copying blocks of code and everything. Okay. Osato, you get?
Yeah. This explains it. Thank you very much.
All right. Sorry, carry on.
All right, so you eventually said, you eventually explained it though.
No, I explained to him. The others didn't know what I was talking about.
Okay, so what we did here is that we used the dynamic ingress, right? Where we had to define all the port and then assign a value to it so that if instead of like individually individually applying the ports to the instances, like he said, it's going to be cumbersome and all that. Then again, if we have to manage this port, if we have to add a new application or deploy a new application, all we just need to do is just come. All we just need to do is to come to our security group, put in the ports, put in the port here, and we run our Terraform, and it applies to all of them. So basically what we're doing here is just trying to group it so that it's not cumbersome. Then for our CIDR block, that just means that this can is opening up, this can operate under any IP. You understand? We're not assigning a specific number to it, as any IP value that we decide to use can run on these instances.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any question on your Terraform on this? Please feel free to ask. If you have any questions, be open to ask. Okay, there's no wrong, there's no foolish question.
I think I have a question. It's on the main file. So scroll up to where you said you had the key. So in that so line 18, right? So that's in that bucket, is it picking up your key from there or is storing your state file in that bucket? I was quite confused when you talked about that part.
So he's picking it up from AWS.
His question, hold on, his question is that, okay, he saw the word key. So the key for him is confusing. To him, key can mean your private key that you use. But he's seeing key here and he's also seeing state file. So is it picking up your key from there or is storing your state file there?
It's okay, so the state file is stored there, and then it's picking it up from there as well. So that state file contains a lot of information that is why we have it stored on S3. So it picks up every information it needs from there.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the private key.
No, the private key we have is that's stored on our profile.
Okay. Did he answer you, Mr. Osato?
Yes. So basically, like the key is just kind of the paths to the bucket, right? That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other question? Mr. Serge, do you have any question for them?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, cool. Let's carry on. Okay. So we are good. I like your setup. Especially your security group. Okay. And then for the fact that you maintain security by not exposing your access key and secret key. Yeah, good job. All right. So this was what you used to create your entire infrastructure.
That's correct.
All right, cool. Let's carry on.
So
the next one.
Okay, so the next part is the CI. So the next part is the CI, whereby with using Jenkins, we had to create our CI, like create a various job information, various job on our platform, and then integrated everything with a pipeline. So we went ahead and created serial number, like build, checkout, code quality, and Jackal code coverage, and archive to active threats. I'm sorry that this is all, there's a lot of information, and also a Slack notification as well.
Okay,
And then
let's just go straight to your pipeline. Let's go to your CI pipeline.
Okay, so this is my pipeline. Oh,